the consumer mindset that exposes practitioner liability in today's market. Hi, my friends. Clint Stitzer with Stitzer Properties and the Purposeful Practitioner here. Today I want to talk about consumer mindset. Look, when we represent a seller or represent a buyer, we all intend for it to be a great outcome, whether it's a listing and we get the price within the time frames and have a smooth escrow, or we're representing a buyer and it's the right house and we have great inspections and the consumer feels totally comfortable and confident when they close, such that regardless of seller or buyer, at the end of the day, they look at us as their fiduciary and are exhilarated with the representation. The problem is that right now, there's a ton of agents who just can't achieve it. And the reason they can't achieve it is not because they don't care. It's not because they aren't good practitioners. It's not because they aren't following the process, but it's because consumer sentiment is unstable. And when there's instability in the market, consumer confidence gets shaken. And when confidence gets shaken, fear goes up. Uncertainty goes up. And when a person is fearful or uncertain, that natural human reaction is to either flight or fight. Meaning, if something comes up that rocks the confidence of that human being, the natural response is to either renegotiate the deal or get out of it. And look, as practitioners, we just came out of a market where like, oh my gosh, we're so lucky we got into contract. We're so lucky as sellers that we have 20 buyers and this is the buyer that's good. So it was very easy for us all to assume goodwill to get the deal done because there wasn't a lot of options. The buyers and sellers were confident that it was going to work out. They're confident that the market was there. And that resulted in them being committed to the transaction and a lot of things being said and done that worked out because there was consistency, there was stability. But right now, of course, someone might say, well, that's crazy because it was going up and there was no inspections. My point being is that consumers were confident that doing the transaction was going to happen. Whereas right now, when confidence is shaken, we as practitioners cannot make the fatal flaw of assuming. We as practitioners have to flex into the assumption that even though maybe we're great friends or we're great associates with the other agent and that we've worked together 15 times successfully and we've gotten to the stage where I trust what they say, they trust what I say, we know each other, we know how each other work, and we are almost certain that a deal is going to happen. Well, right now we have to assume that at midnight tonight, either their client or client is going to read something that's going to make them unconfident or make them uncertain, and as a result, they're going to want to fight, either renegotiate or flight, get out of the deal. So that means that we have to be on top of it with our timelines, with our contingencies, with our responses, with our documentation of verbally negotiated things. Because right now, we just had a couple last week where we were at the closing table, ready to go. I am not joking, like buyer, like rush, we need to move in, our lease expires, let's go, we've got all cash, come on, fix this, and we'll close in 2 days, addenda signed, everything ready to go. Sellers in a rush, moving things out. Buyer wakes up the next day and goes, you know what, I hadn't cleared the HOA resale package requirement yet, fast escrow, and I just read that I can't park my car in my driveway for more than 4 hours while I work on it. And I like to work on classic cars, so hey, I'm out. Right? Meanwhile, the seller had moved out, sold furniture, made all these considerations to try and help this buyer based on good faith. Called in frickin' Hail Marys to get repairs done in 3 days. But the fault was on us for making an assumption that because we were doing all these things in goodwill for the buyer and the buyer needed the help, that it was good and we had left a contingency out there. So right now, the exposed liability is uncertainty for consumers. And uncertainty for consumers requires that we got to have tight files. So that is the reminder for today. Lost confidence, instability results in us having to assume, not that people are liars, not that people are going to say one thing and do another, but assume that something is going to scare that person and result in that other person potentially wanting to fight or flight. So we got to manage our escrows, manage our deals, manage our negotiations in a way that says, Let's be extra careful. Let's not blindly trust. Let's dial it in. I know this is not news for any of you. I know this is common basic stuff, but I hope that it's a great reminder so that you don't experience the pain of missing one little contingency and have something blow up in your face. Hope that you enjoyed this video. This is Clint Stitzer with The Purposeful Practitioner and Stitzer Properties, wishing you great success in your real estate practice.